Good evening and welcome. This is Worldview Today. I am your anchor, Sheila Murray. In the next 30 minutes, we'll be tackling the stories that matter with expert analysts and in-depth reporting. Thank you for joining us. This is Worldview Today. Tonight, we start with a crisis in online safety. The internet has opened up a world of opportunities for young people, but it has also exposed them to new dangers. We begin with an investigation into the growing threat of online predators and cyberbullying. You can join the conversation on all our social media handles at Worldview Today.
The internet has become an indispensable part of life for children and youth in Kenya, offering unparalleled opportunities for learning, connection, and entertainment. But this digital landscape also presents significant risks to their safety and well-being.
Children are exposed to so many ills. There's a lot of sexual exploitation, there's a lot of harassment, there is bullying. And so let us also be diligent to impart this wisdom to our underage children must not be left online unsupervised.
The growing push for stronger regulations and platform accountability to create a safer online environment for young users. Civil society organizations and government agencies in Kenya are working to raise awareness, provide resources, and advocate for policies that prioritize child and youth safety online.
The digital world offers incredible opportunities, but it also presents significant challenges, particularly when it comes to the safety of our children and youth online. Joining us from the Nairobi Bureau is Jeffrey Mahuhu, who has been investigating this critical issue. Thank you, Jeffrey, for being with us. Can you give us a broad overview of your findings?
My investigation has revealed a complex landscape of both opportunities and significant dangers for young people navigating the internet here in Kenya and globally. Some of the key risks I have encountered including increased exposure to cyberbullying, which can take various forms from harassment on social media to the spread of malicious rumors. We are also seeing a concerning rise of online grooming, where predators build trust with young people for harmful purposes. Additionally, the constant exposure to inappropriate content, including violation of sexually explicit materials, is a major concern for parents and educators. Finally, issues around data privacy and the potential for personal information to be misused are also prominent risks.
Those are certainly alarming findings. You mentioned cyberbullying. What are some of the unique challenges in addressing cyberbullying compared to traditional bullying, and what impact it is having on young people?
One of the biggest challenges with cyberbullying is its perversion notion. It can follow young people wherever they go 24/7 through the devices. The anonymity that the internet can sometimes provide emboldens perpetrators, and the speed at which harmful content can spread is incredibly damaging. We have heard from mental health professions about the significant emotional toll cyberbullying takes on victims, leading to anxiety, depression, isolation, and even suicidal ideation in severe cases. Unlike traditional bullying, there is often a digital record which can amplify the trauma and make it feel inescapable for the young people involved.
You also touched upon the issue of inappropriate content. With so much information readily available online, how can parents effectively protect their children from this kind of exposure?
It's a constant challenge. There is no single tool-proof solution, but a multi-layered approach is key. This includes utilization parent control software to the filter content and monitor online activity. However, technology alone is not enough. Educating children about the constitutes inappropriate content and why it is harmful is crucial. Encouraging critical thinking skills so they can evaluate the information they encounter online is also important. Furthermore, creating an open dialogue where children feel comfortable discussing anything they come across online that makes them feel uncomfortable or unsafe is paramount.
Finally, regarding data privacy, what are some of the risks young people face and what steps can they and their families take to mitigate this risk?
Young people often share a lot of personal information online without fully understanding the potential consequences. This can range from oversharing on social media platforms to unknowingly agreeing to terms and conditions that allow companies to collect and use the data in various ways. Risks include targeted advertising, potential of identity theft, and the long-term implication of the digital footprint. To mitigate these risks, it is essential to educate young people about the importance of privacy setting on social media, being cautious about the information they share online, and understanding who they are communicating with. Parents can also play a role in reviewing privacy settings together and discussing the potential risks of sharing personal details.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Your findings paint a concerning picture but also highlight the importance of awareness and proactive measures. The digital world offers incredible opportunities, but it also presents significant risks, from cyberbullying and online predators to exposure to harmful content. Our young people face unprecedented challenges. Joining us now is Mr. Brian Muremi, a data analyst and CEO of Murray Solutions. Welcome, Mr. Muremi.
Thank you for having me. My name is Brian. I'm the CEO and founder of More Solution, which is a technology solution company. And our aim is to provide solutions to the society through the integration of technology.
Let's start with the basics. What are some of the most pressing online safety concerns for children and the youth today?
So some of the biggest concerns include cyberbullying. We have exposure to inappropriate content. We also have online predators. And as you know, with the rise of social media, children are more connected more than ever. And this increases the risk, increases both the opportunities and the risk. And since we lack like some sort of digital literacy for the kids, it leaves them very vulnerable to scams, harmful trends, and also misinformation, which is all over.
What about online predators? What are some of the red flags parents and caregivers should be aware of?
Online predators, it's actually a very big menace. And often we find that these online predators groom children by building trust. So they first start by pretending to be peers, or they show interest in their lives. And the red flags include children becoming secretive about their online activity, or when the children start receiving gifts from unknown individual, they should act as a very big red flag. And parents are advised to be very alert and also monitor the changes in behavior of the children.
And what about the role of social media platforms themselves? What responsibilities do they have?
So social media platforms ought to have a duty to protect young users by enforcing things like age restrictions. We should also have robust privacy settings, and also we should filter content for children. So we swiftly remove any harmful content. I think with also the modern age that we are in, this platform should invest in AI moderation and educational tools which allow easy reporting, and also to enable transparency in this platform so that we can safeguard our kids.
What are some of the practical steps parents and caregivers can take to protect their children online?
This is a very good question. So parents should remain open in communication with their children. They should spend time and talk openly. Also, parents should, I feel, educate children about the dangers of online strangers. And also, parents should go a step further and also introduce parental control tools. For example, you can set up some rules like the screen time that's needed when using these devices. And also you can set up blocking tools that block access of certain social media platforms within the internet.
What about resources? Where can parents and children find help and support?
There are so many resources available online. For example, we have the Childline Kenya, which you can call. We also have the Kenya Film Classification Board, which in general they are used to regulate the type of content that is shown out there. So platforms like this, children and also parents can make use of those platforms or resources. For example, the Childline Kenya, you can call and report any issues that you have. Yeah, and also we should work with schools and NGOs to run workshops to offer counseling for cyberbullying and any online abuse.
Thank you, Mr. Muremi, for sharing your insights with us tonight. It's clear that safeguarding our children in the digital age requires a collective effort from parents, educators, tech companies, and policymakers. The pervasive issue of drug abuse is a crisis that continues to cripple communities across the nation. Our correspondent, Gakunga Mwangi, has been on the ground uncovering the multifaceted layers of this complex problem. Gakunga, what have you found?
Thank you, Sheila. I spent the past few days speaking with individuals directly impacted by drug abuse, from those battling addiction themselves to their families and community leaders struggling to make a difference. What has become starkly clear is that this is not a problem confined to the shadows. It is a deeply entrenched issue woven into the fabric of our society here in Nairobi and beyond. Sheila, I spent the past few days speaking with individuals directly impacted by drug abuse, from those battling addiction themselves to their families and community leaders struggling to make a difference. What has become starkly clear is that this is not a problem confined to the shadows. It is a deeply entrenched issue woven into the fabric of our society here in Nairobi.
Kwa bahati mzuri hiyo road tulikuwa tunakaa nyuma yake kulikuwa na buda moja anaitwa Sharif. Alikuwa anauzanga ndomo. Sasa mimi nikaenda ngapo kwa hiyo base mimi nakaanga tu. Kama hii base yako nakaa muone uzanga ndomo hapo mimi nakaa.
Yeah.
Mtoto ana buy ndomo.
Una mngam tu.
Alafu ananipitishia.
It's a government policy, the policy of President William Ruto, that we will eliminate drugs and drug abuse in the Republic of Kenya.
While the challenges are immense, I've also witnessed incredible resilience and dedication. There are individuals and organizations working tirelessly on the front lines, providing financial support, advocating for policy changes, and offering pathways to recovery. However, they emphasize that a multi-pronged approach is essential. This includes not only treatment and rehabilitation, but also preventative education, early intervention programs, and addressing the underlying socio-economic factors that can contribute to drug abuse. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Gakunga. We are joined today by the directors of Eden House Rehabilitation Center as they share on what led them to establish this rehabilitation center and where you can get help.
I'm the current chairperson of rehabilitation centers across the country. And I'm also founding director of Eden House. And I'm also a person who had an alcohol drug problem. And have now 20 years sober. We have set out Eden House essentially because when we met, 3 of the directors at Eden House, we met in a rehab center. One of them was our counselor.
To the people out there, the recovery program, we go through the step work, which is actually the fundamental. It's more like the 10 commandments of Moses. Remember Moses, the lawgiver, he had the 10 commandments given by God. So in the recovery program, first of all, I came to learn to be closer to God, because I told you, like, from a Christian background, I totally kind of walked away from God, totally. And one thing the program taught us that no matter how far you've gone far away from God, you just have to turn back one step, because it's followed you all the way. I didn't know that. So it's a spiritual program. We get to know about the higher power, because like in step one, once you admit, that you are powerless over the addiction, over the alcoholism, when you admit and you surrender, because there's no other way. In fact, I've come to realize that there's no any other way that's working. It has been over the years. They've tried to find other ways. This is the only way that's working for alcoholics and addicts and drug addicts.
In the next minute, we'll delve into the developing story on democracy. We are going to take a short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more.
In the heat of the summer, Okada seats feel like hot plates, and downfall buses feel like extremely hot ovens. Walking on the road feels like walking on hot coals.
How do I cope with this heat?
And how do I cope with that bad odor?
By staying 5 degrees cooler.
Body odor is caused by germs, and on hot days, the sweating and the odor are more. That's why you need to get the new improved Dettol Cool Soap, which offers up to 5 degrees instant cooling sensation and protects you from 99.9% odor-causing germs. Dettol 5-Degree Cool Soap is endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. In many parts of the world, democracy is under threat. We shine a spotlight on the voices of dissent, the activists, and ordinary citizens fighting for their rights and freedoms. We will take a closer look at the state of democracy around the world. You can join the conversation on our social media handles at Worldview Today.
The journey of democracy is rarely linear. It's a constant negotiation, a push and pull between ideals and realities. While the challenges are significant, the underlying desire for self-determination and the collective power of engaged citizens offer a reason for cautious optimism. The findings here in Nairobi and across the globe underscore a crucial point. Democracy is not a static achievement, but an ongoing project, one that requires constant vigilance, adaptation, and unwavering commitment of its people. Kenya has made significant strides in establishing a multi-party system and holding regular elections. The Constitution, enacted in 2010, provides a framework for democratic governance, guaranteeing fundamental rights and freedoms and establishing crucial checks and balances. The resilience of Kenya's democratic spirit is evident in the active participation of its citizens in political discourse and the holding of generally competitive elections. However, consolidating democratic gains requires constant vigilance and commitment from all stakeholders. We need our leaders to be accountable and to prioritize the needs of all Kenyans. Our voices must be heard, and our institutions must be strong enough to uphold the principles of democracy. Our findings suggest that Kenya's democratic journey is an ongoing process marked by both progress and persistent hurdles. The strength of its democracy will ultimately depend on the continued commitment to upholding the rule of law, strengthening institutions, fostering inclusive participation, and addressing the challenges that could undermine its functions. Reporting live from Nairobi, this is Gakunga Mwangi for the Worldview Today.
From election integrity to the freedom of the press, we'll explore the key issues that are shaping our societies.
Mr. Steven, what do you have to say as far as the process is concerned?
Now, we are here to oppose media blackmail.
Yes.
We are here to say no to gagging of the media.
Yes.
We are here to say our freedoms under Article 34 of the Constitution must be respected.
Yes.
Media must be allowed to operate in a free space.
Yes.
We must not be abducted.
Yes.
Journalists cannot go to work in fear.
Yes.
That is why we want the government or any other relevant agency to
Yes.
respect media freedom.
Yes. What accountability do you expect as far as the journalists that were shot the other week?
We want total accountability from government to
Yes.
yes. We want those who immediately be apprehended.
Yes.
We want them to ensure that they are relieved from their duties.
Yes.
All those that are involved in shooting place must be arrested.
Yes. All the best in your quest. Thank you, brother. How are you? What do you have to say as far as the process is concerned? Yeah? Yes. 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 Okay.
Before we go, let's turn our attention to the fundamental principles that undermine a just and equitable society: human rights. You can join the conversation on our social media handles at Worldview Today.
HBV and femicide continue to take countless lives, leaving families and communities shattered. This is not just statistics, it's a crisis that needs action.
Now let's turn to the policy decisions that can elevate this crisis. Tonight, we are joined by Ms. Waruguru Murezi, a leading expert in gender rights and equality. Welcome to the station.
If you don't know, more than half of the women in Kenya aged between 15 to 49 years face gender-based violence in one way or another through either physical, emotional, or psychological. And what we're doing today is we're asking you to speak up. We're asking you to join us in the conversations on how this can come to an end. We want women to live in safe spaces and at peace. Join the conversation, join the movement. Let's ensure women live.
Thank you, Ms. Waruguru. That's all we have for you tonight. But the fight for human rights is a continuous one. Thank you for joining us on Worldview today. I am your anchor, Sheila Murezi. Stay informed, stay engaged, and keep demanding justice. Visit our social media pages to learn more and find out how you can make a difference.